Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Vasconcelos from the fan page Jogos Vorazes Brasil, and I'm here with Stefania Noëlle Barr, who played Maysilee Donner on the short film, The Second Quarter Quell. Stefania, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to ask the questions I've been wanting to ask since this short film came out.
Thank you so much for having me. Super excited to chat with you.
I prepared a few questions for us. So the first one is, how was your first contact to the material? Did you already know the books before? Had you seen the movies? How was it?
I'm pretty sure the first contact I made actually with the Hunger Games was through the Katniss and Rue short film that Mainstay Pro made. Because I had been working a lot with Mainstay Productions. So I watched that short film and then I was intrigued. So then I read the books. Immediately became a fan of the books, the story, the concept, the characters, everything about it. And then very shortly after I had worked with Mainstay Productions on a different short film, they asked me to come and be Maysilee based on this, it's, what is it, like 3 or 4 pages at the most section. It's in Catching Fire. So we made a short of it, and yeah, so I came in as like kind of a soft fan, I would say, but then becoming a part of the video and like seeing the fans' reaction to it, it made me more hardcore in my devotion to the Hunger Games.
You played a character that we knew very little about and managed to define her tone very well. So what was your approach during the preparation for playing her?
Bringing a character to life that hadn't been played by anybody else before, and there really wasn't a lot of material about her. We didn't know that much about her. My approach to those kinds of characters is to always make choices that feel authentic to me. So it was really kind of just pouring myself and my own attitude into it. Considering how I would respond to the circumstances, and also working with James and like bringing Haymitch and Maysilee to life, I think our dynamic really helped me define Maysilee's tone, because that it's always, when you're working with another actor, I love the synergy that happens. You come prepared. I always make choices first, but then you get to set and you see how the dynamic works, and sometimes you have to shift and adapt. So working with James really just, I don't know, it was like this synergistic magic that helped us both figure out who Haymitch was and who Maysilee was.
Talking about it, like setting the tone, what characteristics did you find most interesting about Maysilee in the script?
I found Maysilee's weapon choice interesting, and I also thought it was appropriate. I mean, at the time I would have been, I don't even know how old I was. I was like a teenager, like 15, 16. I weighed less than 100 pounds. I was like 80 pounds. So I was really small and light. And under those circumstances, like being in the games, I too would probably choose a weapon that would allow me to keep my distance from people. So I really found her weapon choice interesting, and I thought it was smart. Her sassiness, like I feel like there was an intentional, I don't know, like she wants to be allies with Haymitch, but also there's like a little bit of a tension between them. And I really wanted to bring those elements out.
Girl, she's sassy.
Oh yes, which is so cool now reading Sunrise and like seeing the fully fleshed out Maysilee. It's crazy to see what, dynamics match.
The Brazilian fandom is calling her debochada, which is a word that we say debochada for someone who is like super sassy.
Incredible. I love it.
So did you follow the script strictly, or did you improvise or bring something during the filming?
Yeah, during the filming, it was a really small production team. So it was a professional crew, but like very scrappy, like literally to get up the mountains. James and I were carrying like a gigantic, it's called a jib. So it's like this big, long, like 10-foot pole with like weights on it. So we were like helping the crew lug gear and everything. So that's how small scale the production was. So yeah, because of how kind of flexible the dynamic was in filming, there were definitely choices that we made. I'm pretty sure like the leaf drinking thing, that was like something that we had to figure out a lot on set. And I'm pretty sure there was also like a little bit of twisting of lines. I'm definitely the kind of actor that like, if the words don't feel good in my mouth, I'm going to find a way to say it that feels honest, because it's better to say it in an honest way than like force yourself to say the exact words. So probably just like a little bit of improvisation, and then yeah, figuring out that flow and that dynamic with James and with the rest of the crew to like bring it to life.
It was amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got cast to this project?
Yes. So I had just worked with John Lyde on another short film called Life According to Penny. That short film had some really heavy subject material, and it required some really tough physicality, like being a teenage girl fighting with a grown man and like scrappily getting under a fence and running through the woods barefooted. It was like pretty intense. And I think on that short, John saw some level of, intensity that I could bring. And so it was only, I think, a couple months after we finished that film that he called me up and said, "Hey, I'm doing another Hunger Games short. Do you want to come play?" And I said, "Yes, of course."
Of course. And you met the Hunger Games through a short film, so it's just the cycle.
Yes. It's a perfect circle.
What was it like to see the fans' reception to it?
Surreal. It was surreal to see the fans' reception to our short and to see the way it blew up, to see people embrace our portrayals of these characters, and to really honestly be embraced by the fandom. It was, I'm getting chills thinking about it. It was just like such a special experience. And I think Hunger Games fans are, by our nature, like deeply empathetic people. The Hunger Games books really kind of call for that empathy, being present tense, being first person, really putting us in the shoes of the main character. And so that empathy really carried out in all of the interactions I had with the fans. And honestly, it helped me create some incredible friendships. Like I literally started a pen pal relationship with a gal in Scotland. Like I'm still internet friends with so many people that I connected with because of the Hunger Games and because of this short. So it was just a beautiful, surreal experience.
You were all over my Tumblr. You became a legend, like a Tumblr legend. How many people can say, like, I'm a Tumblr legend?
Yeah, right? It was crazy. It was also cool to see people start doing the Maysilee braid. Yeah. So I did my own hair and makeup for it. So the braids and the beads, like that was something that I came up with. I was like, I need her to have some kind of like style. How would her stylist, where Katniss and Cinna work so closely together to create what her look and her energy is going to be? What would Maysilee's stylist bring to the table? So that was something that I came up with. And then it was crazy to see people doing Maysilee braids all over Tumblr and getting sent pictures from, people all over the world copying this hairstyle that, I didn't invent braids, but like that particular way of doing it was something that I brought to the table. And that was really fun to see.
So cool. Until now, I still see Maysilee fun arts with the braid. And I see like, I think like this came from the short film. This is not from the books. This is from the short film. And we all embraced it as canon because there's nothing about the Second Quarter Quell in the movies. So we didn't have this material. The Second Quarter Quell isn't even mentioned, I guess. I'm not quite sure. But isn't even mentioned in the movie. So that's all we got. And then now we have another book, like a whole book telling this story, and then the short film blew up again,
which has been so wild and so cool.
And this brings us to my next question, which is, I've been following you on your social media, and I noticed that your friends seemed a little surprised by the attention the short film has been getting recently. So, what's it like to have something you did 13 years ago coming back like this?
It's deeply unexpected. Definitely was not thinking it was going to have another moment, but I'm embracing it, and I'm, again, just super grateful to connect with Hunger Games fans because I think they're just some of the coolest people on the planet. And I'm really grateful for, again, reading the book and like this continuation of Haymitch's story and really digging into his character. I think the book is so timely and important right now. But yeah, it's been really funny to see my friends like freak out and realize, like, I had friends that didn't know that was me but they knew the short film. This happens all the time, and I'm just going to take it as a compliment. People do not recognize me in my work. So they'll like see a movie that I'm in, or they'll know my work, but they don't know it's me because like the energy of the character is so different from my energy in real life. And I'm like, okay, I guess I just have to embrace that I'm not going to be recognized in that way because I'm just going to say that's because I'm embodying the character and I'm a good actor.
You're a good actress. That's it.
That's gotta be it, right? But no, it's been so funny to have friends be like, oh my gosh, I was obsessed with that short. I had no idea that was you. So it's just a blast. It's just so much fun.
So you're reading the book.
I'm like halfway through it.
Oh, tell me, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I love Haymitch so much. I love Haymitch. He's honestly been like always my favorite character in like all of the books because he's just so, I don't know, jaded. He's even jaded from the beginning of Sunrise.
Yeah.
And it's really fun also to like see this perspective of Haymitch's approach to the games, Haymitch's approach to the reaping versus like Katniss, and how kind of anti-establishment she is from the beginning, and how Haymitch is much more like, let's not ruffle feathers, like I'm just gonna keep my head down, I just don't want to be a part of these things. But then to see his evolution as a character is just fascinating. So yeah, I'm loving the book. We'll give updates when I finish it.
Okay. I'll be looking at your social media. I would be like,
Yes.
Okay, did you finish yet? But I think you're gonna love it. If you love Haymitch, you're gonna absolutely love this book. It's a book that we've been asking for a long time, like since Catching Fire.
Yeah.
We've been asking, like, please, Suzanne Collins, give us this book.
Give us the story.
Yeah, we want to know. It's such a sad story.
It's interesting. I feel like when I read the Hunger Games books as a teenager, it like didn't affect me as much. Like when I was younger, maybe I was just more like tough. I feel like I'm more sensitive as an adult, and like it's breaking my heart. Like I'm crying so much as I'm reading just the situation and the circumstance. It's just, yeah, it's such an intense story, and it's so powerful and it's so impactful. And again, I'm just like so grateful to be any small part of the lore surrounding the Hunger Games, because I think it's just such an incredible story. Well, I feel like I had a lot more courage when I was younger. I still have courage now, but I have a lot more fear too. And so that fear and that courage and that empathy all just like, it just makes the whole story that much more impactful. And I mean, I just rewatched the short film right before our call. I could remember all the little details of it, and watching through, I was just like so struck by, again, this little world that we created and the portrayals that we created. It's just it's a devastating story, and I'm really proud of what we did to like bring it to life and like highlight it.
I'm really excited because I Googled you and I loved what I found.
Incredible. That makes me so happy.
So besides acting in the short film, The Second Quarter Quell, you've also directed, written, and acted in other projects. can you give us an overview of your career, please?
Yes. Yeah. So I actually, right after the Second Quarter Quell film, the first thing I did besides acting was soundtracks because I'm a musician. And so I wrote the soundtrack for that short film, Life According to Penny. It ended up winning a bunch of awards, which was crazy as a teenage girl to be winning these like awards for my compositions. And then I decided to go to film school. So I have pace tested literally every role you can possibly do on a film set. I've done everything. And I've fallen into, these like 3 things that are my career, which is acting, directing, and music.
And is there something coming soon, maybe?
Yes. So I have a band called Shrink the Giant, and we're releasing new music. So April 17th is our first release in a very long time, which is really exciting. I directed the music video, so everybody has to go check it out on YouTube because I'm very proud of it. And then we have more music coming this year. Also, I am in an upcoming movie series. It's Kevin Costner's new Western series called Horizon, which is very exciting. So be on the lookout for those movies. The first movie's already out. You'll catch me in further installments of the series. So that's very exciting. And I've got lots of other things in the works that I am not at liberty to talk about just yet, but I hope everybody who's interested, we can connect online so we can keep up with each other.
Thank you so much, Stefania, for giving us this interview. It was amazing to connect with you, to talk to you, to ask you the questions I've been wanting to ask since 2014, because it's when I watched the movie. So thank you so much for this whole interview. You were amazing. You were such a charismatic person. You were.
Hopefully I wasn't too long-winded. I'm a yapper and I like to chat.
True. That's the problem. We're going to be here forever.
Yeah, right. I don't mind.